Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin. It's Thursday, and recently I have been launching a bunch of new series on the channel. New themed, no, they're not themed days. I have the idea that I'm a bit more productive and focused if I have a day I know I'm presenting a certain project. So we're gonna run with this theory and see if the hypothesis plays itself out, or if, I lose the thread, which is likely. Let's be honest here. So today we are going to enter a world that I get asked about a lot. This is a new segment we're going to call Scrap It Up. Two guesses as to what we're doing. Scrap yarn projects. That's right. This Hello Kitty bag is housing my Battenberg blanket. Now, I love making socks. I adore it. It has become a passion of mine since I finally made my first sock a couple years ago. 2 years ago. 2023 was my year of socks. And I am trying to not hold on to a bunch of minis that I have to organize and keep track of if I'm looking for like heels or toes. So I'm looking for ways to immediately use my leftover remainder scraps of sock yarn. We all have tons of scraps. I recently finished my Sophie's Universe, which was a scrap GAN for me using my worsted weights remnants, which is why Sophie is so large. But in the past, I have been working on a ever-growing granny square blanket with my sock yarn. And that was great when I had little bits left. But I am having some projects that are leaving large bits, which kind of, to me, almost defeats the purpose of the small segments in that granny square. And I have often seen people working on the Battenberg blanket. They are little 3-round granny squares. They are solid granny squares. And then you can do it however you want. Battenberg is designed kind of with scraps in mind for half of it and the other half a solid color. I did go that route, but I think this could look really cool and scrappy quilty if you just went all out on scraps. And that might be something I do in the future, but this one I really kind of wanted to do the solid color idea paired with the scraps. It was just the vision I had. So to that end, I don't recall where we were when last you saw this, but I have 9 squares across. I am doing a continuous join. That's my join. But it's not the way she describes in the pattern. So 9 across. It's supposed to be 34 squares by 30 squares. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to make that work because I'm just going around in circles like this. But we'll see. That's a problem for Erin at a future time, and frankly a long time, because each round gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But this is fun. I do intend on continuing that granny square blanket when the scraps get down tiny. Like, I think this is my smallest scrap right now, and that's still really big. I'm thinking when we get around like maybe 5 grams of yarn, but let's be honest, I'm not out here weighing this. Maybe I'll just do it until I can't make another full granny square for this blanket, and then throw that yarn into the tiny little granny square overall blanket I'm making. I don't know. I'm talking a lot about grannies. Did I even tell you the name? I think I did. Scrap It Up. That's what we're calling this series. I want you to share all of your ideas for scrap yarn. So I've done this. I am now making white squares. It's not a true white. This is, I got a great deal from Little Knits on a Barocco Ultra Wool Fine. They called it Snow. It's kind of a winter white ivory. I was pretty excited to get this. It's not a sock yarn. It's 100% wool. There's no polyester. Yep, 100% superwash wool. I need, for the next round, I need 20 little white squares. I have 18. So tomorrow, I should finish my squares and then be able to sew it up. I'm using the recommended 3mm crochet hook from the pattern. I'm not sure how to mark this blanket so we can kind of monitor my progress over time, but I have written down that I have 9 squares across on my pattern as of today, so hopefully that gives us some idea. But you know, with blankets like this, when you're doing rows, when you're going around like that, each row takes longer and longer and longer, so we'll have to see. So anyway, I currently have in the works for Scrap It Up 2 granny inspired blankets. Battenberg, which is designed by Cherry Heart Crochet, Cherry Heart Designs. It's going to be linked down below. I know I got it from a Ravelry, but if you click on the Ravelry link, I believe it directs you to her website where it is free. I did not pay for Battenberg. In fact, I have it downloaded and printed multiple times because I lost it. It's somewhere. And when I went to go start, I couldn't find it. So I had to print a new copy. I've lost my train of thought. Okay, so I've got that. And then for the even smaller amounts of sock yarn, I will continue the Crazy Granny Square. Because that was my initial plan when I thought all I would have was itty bitty small amounts. But I'm getting big chunks. I've got like, some of these are like 45 grams of yarn left. And I could make like a whole nother sock out of this. And maybe I could hold it for, you know, heels, cuffs, toes, and all that. But that makes storage problems. I mean, you know, I'm having storage issues. So I just want to use it. And so many of you ask, how do you handle your scraps? What are your scrap ideas? So here we go. Let's talk about it. Tell me all of your scrap ideas. I have these 2 ideas for my fingering weight yarn. I have a Santa sack off to the side where I've collected my worsted weight yarn. I don't have a lot of DK scraps right now. So I think there might be a couple of DK scraps shoved in the worsted weight one. But that's a problem for the future. I've long had an idea for a blanket in my mind. So when we use all these scraps, we're going to work on the worsted weight scraps. We've always got scraps. We can keep doing this. I also have generated a lot of large remnant scraps from the washcloth series. So I have plans for 3 rugs. Those will be crochet rugs. My 4-weight scrap GAN blanket is going to be knit. That's the vision I've had in my head. These 2 granny projects are obviously crochet. So let's share all different ways. I know a lot of people have different inspirations for using their scraps. Some people love wearables, so they'll make a coat of many colors, a scrappy cardigan or something to cuddle into, a sweater, or maybe crazy pants, you know, cozy lounge pants. Fun, so fun. Some people do the rugs idea. I would like to put the rugs in the kitchen. That's why I'm focusing on my cotton scraps for that. So we can just throw them in the wash and they'll be done. Although acrylic, you probably could do the same. But I am picturing the rugs my grandma had when I was a kid. And I've seen, Brian and I used to go to an Amish auction when we lived in Wisconsin. And they made these rugs. And they are exactly like what my grandma always made. That was like with t-shirt. So I'm not going to do like the t-shirt yarn rug. But I hope you're understanding the vision I'm having. And I think I can recreate it with the cotton scraps a bit. I don't know. I might kind of copy Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming as well, because I want to run I want to have the crazy scraps in just a wild arrangement where I'm not like curating or anything, and then like a solid color running along with it. Yeah, I've got so many ideas, but I can only really do one scrap project at a time, which does mean my scrap yarn piles up for these other projects. But that's good, because then when I'm ready to do the project, I can hit the ground running and we can scrap it up. So yeah, let me know, what is your go-to scrap project? I know a lot of people just do granny squares, and when they reach a certain number of granny squares, they sew them all together and boom, blanket. That's a fabulous idea. You could do the same for a cardigan. You know, make your granny squares. When you have enough, sew them together into a cardigan or whatnot. You could make pants too. I've seen really cute granny square pants and shorts. Although, I don't know. I think if I had granny square shorts, I'd want to make sure they were cotton yarn. But for some reason, I'm okay with acrylic for like cozy lounge pants. Is that weird? I don't know. I guess maybe not, because I picture shorts in warmer weather, and in warmer weather I don't want to wear acrylic, I'd want to wear cotton. I think that's probably where I'm going. Okay, we've worked that out, Erin. Awesome. So please let me know if you would like to join me on this scrappy adventure, or just let me know what you're doing with your scraps. Do you shove them in amigurumi and just use it as stuffing? I know a lot of people do that. That's a great idea. For like the little trimmings. But I know some people, I saw one person on Instagram say they make large amigurumis and like pillows and stuff, and they will not even undo a project. They'll just shove full unfinished projects inside and use that for stuffing. More power to you. You do you. I'm not sure I could do that. But if you do that, awesome. I love it. Waste not, want not. That's what it's all about. Okay. I love you all. I have to wrap this up because my alarm's going to go off to go pick up the kiddos. Okay. I will see you later. Bye-bye.